Genlock. All right, I'm gonna start off
Genlock?
as a disclaimer. If you watched Genlock and you were like, "Oh, I love it, and I want to watch other people that love it talk about how much they love it," this is not the video for you. Leave. But if you watched it and you were like, I'm a little disappointed, I was hoping it'd be better, stay. There's your warning. Go on, David.
So, I'm a mech guy. I grew up with Gundam, I grew up with Code Geass, I grew up with all those great fucking shows, right? So I'm like, oh, Rooster Teeth is making a mech anime. I'm like, this might be good. Oh, it's got Michael B. Jordan, it's got Massey Williams, it's got fucking, it's got David fucking Tennant, for Christ's sake. This has to be good, right?
Or will it be like Suicide Squad, where they spent all their budget on one thing that wasn't the story?
Well, they spent all that on the fucking soundtrack.
Well, yeah, for Suicide Squad it was the soundtrack. For here it might have been the casting.
So I watched 1 and 2, and we were going to film a video on 1 and 2, but
the way
life
I look
happened.
at this, I don't even know if this is going to be a weekly review thing for us. I just figured we'd do this one rant thing, because unless you wanted to review the whole thing.
If it gets better, yeah, we'll review it.
We'll keep an eye on it.
If it continues to be this, well, I'll get to what I think of this show in a minute. But if it continues to be like that, then no, this will be a one and done. You'll never hear us talk about your precious Genlock ever again. God, it feels scummy to say that, but goddamn, I love it.
Yeah. I don't know what it was about that statement, but it just sounded so douchey. It's like, goddamn.
Well, after the Promised Neverland fanboys came after us, I got a little bit salty.
Bro, this is just the beginning, bro. We're a small little hatchling of a channel, man. When we're at like 10,000 subs and we shit on something, it's gonna be a whole other ballgame.
Oh yeah.
The fucking fury of heaven will come raining down upon us.
I'm going to hell in every religion, so I don't give a shit.
I'm curious about that. If we were to actually do the research, there's got to be at least one where it's like, nope, this guy right here is the peak of what we want in this religion. 10 commandments. Be into punk waifus. Drink a bunch of alcohol. Dye your hair once a month.
Oh my God.
We found a religion for you.
Yeah, you would have found a religion for me.
Can you imagine? Okay, but no, more about what you didn't like about Genlock.
So, fights, God tier. I'm not going to lie. But, is it bad I can recognize where they're taking this shit from?
Yeah, so you were telling me, did you think that you said some was from Red versus Blue in your opinion? It seemed very similar.
It looked very 1-for-1 from Red versus Blue. A couple of the fights looked very 1-for-1 from fucking Code Geass. Specifically the final Gurren versus Lancelot battle.
Now, Rooster Teeth is known to do this. If I think of it, I'll put a link in this video. There's a very famous thing. They even, out of all the things they've taken from at Rooster Teeth, and I don't mind, like inspiration's one thing, of course, but there's a very famous thing, I don't know if you've seen this, David, where they took a shot 1-for-1 from Hunter x Hunter and incorporated it into the Yang Mercury fight in Volume 3. You remember that?
I remember. It
was Gon versus the Bomber. It was literally like, they overlaid it. It was the same shot. So, same camera cuts, same way the character's moving, insanity. So, they are known to kind of do this. Which is, and I find myself torn because I know that, a lot of them are just anime fans, but it's like, you can't just, completely copy something either. It's strange.
So I'm seeing all these parallels here, and I'm looking through, and I'm like, wait. Then I pulled up, I'm like,
Are you PewDiePieing right now?
Yeah, I'm PewDiePieing right now.
Oh, the subreddit. Yeah, so I don't know, man. The reason I'm letting David kind of take the reins here is I'm not even a mech guy, but I was like, maybe Rooster Teeth can make this one different, because they can usually do different things that interest me. And I'll be honest, out of everything that interested me, the thing that interested me the most was actually the nanotech stuff. I thought that those scenes were really cool, where the nanotechnology was kind of like there was a scene where it was coating the trees. There was a scene where I liked the scene where the guy's trying to repair the holes in his fucking mech before the nano shit gets to him, because they're choking that. I like nanotech shit. That's kind of cool, but go ahead.
the nanotech shit. How did you watch 2 and 3, or did you?
I have not yet, but I figured you'd get it covered.
Oh yeah. So in episode 2, there's a scene that's essentially him, the I guess mole at this point we'll call him,
Okay.
or corpse. But the dude that's played by, I believe it's Chad James from Screw Attack.
Yes.
He is essentially bending with the nanotech, which you can see is essentially water bending.
That's kind of cool.
I'm like, okay, more lifting it from other media. I get it.
Like to an extent, it's okay. Like
to an extent, it's okay.
Here's the thing: you have to realize that like there's no way to be like entirely fully.
Oh, there's original. No way in hell to be 100% original. I'm not trying to just be a cunt here and rip this a new asshole. Well, I kind of am, but
here's where my perspective comes from. This I've just never found like air battles and robot battles interesting, because to me a lot of the times it's like, okay, they flipped in the air and they shot that missile kind of differently, and it's just and he shot the EMP and sacrificed himself and his thing crashed. To me, it's just I find person v person combat a lot more interesting than just mech or air fights, or that's just my own personal perspective on it. So, and plus just the world already is just not very interesting to me, because it's just a future version of our world.
Exactly.
And I've usually, me personally, I like fantasy worlds more. Now,
see, I personally have no problem with the future, Earth. It's been done a million times. Sure, whatever. Make it interesting. To me, the world doesn't really feel alive, though.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something you really need in a scenario where you're having essentially terrorist organizations fucking taking over.
Yeah, you got to care about it. Yeah, for sure.
You have to have investment in this world. And right now, the only thing that's investing me is what's going on in episode 3. That there, the second birthday, and that's a fucking line out of fucking Red versus Blue too. So
bro, I was talking to David just before this. They're not hiding the fact that David Tennant played the Doctor in any way. Like, it wasn't even just the whole Doctor Who, no, Dr. Weller, but even the line where he says, "Take me to your leader," I've always wanted to say that, is like directly a thing that David Tennant's Doctor has said. So
exactly. They're not hiding anything. They're not hiding the fact that they're taking from their own material and other material. They're not hiding the fact that they have this A-list cast, and I'm not going to deny that this is a fucking phenomenal cast.
Do some of the A-listers sometimes feel like they're just kind of phoning in their lines, though?
Oh, fuck yes.
Like the main guy, the guy that died in episode 1.
He didn't die.
Yeah, well, but you didn't see it. I did the air quotes, but you can't see me.
Okay, John Cena.
Oh. It took me a second. No, that guy, like, he seemed like there was that scene where him and clearly Lindsay Jones' character were next to each other. Lindsay Jones' voice acting was better than his, 100%.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, bravo, Lindsay Jones outclassing a fucking. Isn't this the guy that played fucking Killmonger in Black Panther? Yep. Lindsay Jones for next Hollywood actress. Let's go. Come on.
Oh God. I don't think Michael wants his wife away that long.
Aww. Yeah. No, that caused the divorce with Jeff and Griffin, right?
Yeah.
There was too much chainsaw carving going on.
I think Michael just will end up with another baby if she doesn't stay away for very long, though, too.
Remember that was the fucking advice that they gave to Jeff when their marriage was starting to fall apart. It was like, just put a baby in her, then she can't leave.
But my dick doesn't work.
Yeah.
Oh God, Jeff is pure.
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
Here's my next little point that I want to bring up. Out of everything that interests me, aside from the second birthday, is how they upload the consciousness to these robots. That's pretty clever. It's not unique, but the way they've incorporated it into the story, you have to be 100% compatible, otherwise it fucking kills you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a unique little twist they've thrown onto it. Oh, it's not something hasn't been done, but the way that David Tennant's character just doesn't give a fuck. He's so
I can already tell I love his character. He's
so disassociated from everything. It's like he has officially quit giving a fuck about humanity as a whole,
characters like
while
that are great.
caring completely about humanity the more you watch, because he tells you not to, lose yourself, to become numb to yourself from the effects of the nanotech and all the shit when the refugees come in and all that. So he's both equal parts not giving a shit and giving enough of a shit. So his character is the most intriguing, but the way they're uploading the consciousness to it and killing off characters quite quickly is probably the peak of the show. I'm not a fan of them. I'm not a fan of the mechs. They don't really.
They're not like crazy interesting and unique. Yeah.
No, it's Power Rangers, Code Geass, and Gundam all in one, and a little bit of fucking Robotech.
It just didn't jump out at me. Like, I don't know. Like, think about like first episode of RWBY, right? Like whether or not you want to consider the trailer or the actual first episode. Either way, they kind of jump out at you because there's that very specific, like, ooh, there's a uniqueness to this world, you know what I mean? With RWBY specifically, it was that's a motherfucking sniper that's also a motherfucking, like, scythe. And the way that she fought, and it was like this juxtaposition. This is a little girl, looks like Little Red Riding Hood, but she's got a badass fucking scythe sniper. And that kind of really threw you off. The world was unique. Everything looked different. And, like, even the way they fought just felt unique to the show. Whereas this show, I watch it, and I'm just like, I feel like I'm watching an uninspired future mech movie that really has nothing to, popping about it. Nothing, no standout feature,
Exactly. So, I love Rooster Teeth. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But when you are one-for-one-ing your own product, you're one-for-one-ing products that were your inspiration for the show. I get that you need to take inspiration to make, anything. But when you're one-for-one-ing that, when you're fucking literally to the point that it's so goddamn uninspired, even while you're trying your damnedest. I can tell they're trying. To where
I mean, the animation is phenomenal, and like some of the scenes, like I'll even say, like, there's a scene that I really liked was actually the transition between the little sister playing that VR game and like reality. Like, I thought that was great. It showed kind of like how crazy immersive video games in the future could be. But ironically, that scene had nothing to do with the plot of the fucking show. But I loved that scene.
Exactly. It was like a little bit Black Mirror there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like really like I think that was cool how the whole house was set up and how like like you can just flick shit around, and it even seemed like when shit was glitching out, it looked like their house, like even the decorations were all virtual, like when shit was like their paintings were like glitching out and shit. So that was cool.
Like, but when you're taking all this inspiration, but it's feeling so damn uninspired, there's not much else that can be really said other than either. And the next 5 episodes have got to be God tier, or you're a one season and done show.
Do you get the vibe that this show wasn't like, it wasn't like, so for example, with RWBY, Monty Oum was like, I want to make a show really fucking badly. And they were like, all right, finish Red vs. Blue season, whatever the fuck, then we'll let you make a show. And so he had this passion, this drive building up, and he couldn't wait to make a show. With Genlock, does it feel to you that, like, it was the opposite, where, like, some fucking team came up to them and were like, hey, we have the budget, we should make a show, so come up with an idea for a show. It's the opposite. It wasn't like someone wanted to make this show. Someone had an idea and desperately wanted to do it. Instead, it was, we gotta make a show. Marketing says we gotta have a new show out. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
I don't know if that's entirely what it feels like to me, because Gray, who's the head of animation for the show, seems to be really, really behind this. Like, this was a passion project. Everybody else that's behind it is pushing the fuck out of it. Like, you see Rooster Teeth employees.
I wonder how much of that is marketing, just kind of being like, push it, we put so much fucking money into it.
Yeah, I don't know how, that's what I was going to say, I don't know how much of that is full screen, telling the Rooster Teeth employees, like, hey, push this shit.
You got a quota, you got to mention it like 5 times every video.
I don't know how much is that, and how much is they really do like the show, or how much is the fact that they had a bit part in that episode. Like, here, Barb was in this one. She was the random foot soldier number 76. And Trevor was in this one. He was this random background character. Or fucking...
I get to be in a scene with David Tennant. Squee!
Yeah, or this Blaine was over here. He's fucking, this random background character. I don't know how much is that. How much is, full screen, tell Rooster Teeth employees fucking tweet it out,
I'll tell you right now, if I got to be in a scene with David Tennant, I'd lie about whatever the fuck you wanted me to.
And then you got people like Red.
I'm kidding. I like to think I have standards.
Your standards end at David Tennant.
Oh, it's funny.
But, I get that you want your show to succeed. I get that you want... If Gray really is that passionate about it, I'm happy for him that he got a show, but you gotta pick it up and step up your game here. It can't just be uninspired mech number 7,000.
Yeah.
We already had one in the last few years. Like, that was Darling in the Franxx.
Yeah. Like, you want to talk about, like, every mech show that's good, that has interested me, has had, like, an element that made it stand out. So with Code Geass, I fucking love that show. It's not because of the mechs, it's because of Lelouch's ideology and the Geass itself. That's fucking cool. So you have to have something that makes it stand out. And would you say that episode 3 pushes it there, or almost?
Episode 3 gave me a little bit more hope. Because we're seeing how the mechs work. We're seeing how, both branches of the fucking military essentially interact. We're seeing a lot of the fucking plot being given here. Instead of, we're at war and this is happening over here and, la-di-da, here we're lifting our own assets and other assets. But it's so goddamn disappointing here right now that I have no desire currently, unless it picks up, to continue reviewing this. And that's something that... This was a show I was looking forward to.
When I was considering Nomad of Nowhere shit the bed.
Oh, God.
See, let's just be honest. The best shows of that Rooster Teeth have ever produced are Red vs. Blue, Ruby, and Camp Camp.
Well, even Red vs. Blue has had its shit seasons. Mm-hmm. Even Ruby has had its shit seasons.
But has Camp Camp? Is Camp Camp the perfect show?
I haven't watched Camp Camp.
What?
All of it. So I can't judge that. I've watched bits and pieces of it. I have not watched all of Camp Camp.
How much is bits and pieces?
Like half of the first season.
Okay, David. Next time we hang out, I'm binging Camp Camp with you. That's literally your humor, bro. It's just,
I know. I am a failure of a human being for not watching that show.
It's literally just a show that they made to give Michael an excuse to be Michael. That's what it is. The main character is just Michael.
I know. It is a godly show, what I've seen of it. But here's my issue with Rooster Teeth Animation. You have now essentially split your production team into so many subdivisions because of this, right?
I almost think it's a completely different team because it didn't seem to affect Ruby at all. Ruby was better this season.
I get that. And I saw that there's another production company involved with Genlock in the credits. Trust me, I noticed that very quickly. But there's... you got your Camp Camp, you got your fucking Nomad of Nowhere, you got your Ruby Chibi, you got your Ruby, you got Genlock, you got whatever else. I remember they were talking about another fucking show that with the fucking people from Always Sunny, and there's other shit that's going on in the background, because I remember Jeff talking about that on Off Topic. So you have so many goddamn teams in your animation department that it's almost seeming like the more you stretch yourself, the more shitty shows we're getting. Because let's be realistic here. When fucking Nomad of Nowhere was coming out, we were going to review that, and it was garbage.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be like a cool fantasy adventure show. But it turned out to be more of a Saturday morning cartoon.
Which, even I don't have a problem with the
shitty Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem if it was like the fucking Adventure of the Week Saturday morning cartoon. I fucking love Rick and Morty.
It was like 4Kids it was like 4Kids One Piece level shit.
Yeah, exactly. It was that fucking shitty. Now we have Genlock, which is decent at best and garbage at worst.
Yeah.
We have Ruby.
You know what it is? It's that, like, you know, if something's great, you can really talk about it and love it. If something's horrible, you can talk about it a lot and hate it. But if it's meh, it's just disappointing. To me, I just watch it and I felt nothing almost the entire, at least first episode. I was like, eh. That's me.
And, you know, with being a mech fan, that's just, it baffles me. It's a very, very simple formula. Giant fucking robots beating the shit out of each other. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
David's like, David.
Fucking robots beat the shit out of each other. That's fucking it. How the fuck do you fuck that up?
Well, I think there's usually more going on behind the scenes. Like, they got to make you care about the characters and stuff, and that's probably why.
But right now, I feel nothing for these characters.
Yep.
I feel nothing for these robots. I wanted to fucking cry.
Wow. Fucking savage, David. It's very simple. One day we're going to get lucky enough and someone from Rooster Teeth is going to watch our video, and it's going to be one where you're just shitting all over him.
They're like, well, we never want to associate with these people.
Yeah. Say goodbye to that collab. They got like a list of people they'll never collab with.
Top of the list is us from RWBY Volume 5.
Oh, God, yeah.
We'll never collab with these guys. We'll collab with Etika, who went batshit crazy.
I hope they're cool, bro. Like, if we get like semi-big, maybe we can be like, hey, can we come into the Achievement Hunter office? Like, it's completely separate from the Rooster Teeth office. Like, it's okay.
I want to drink with Jeremy and hug Jeff.
Mm-hmm. Bro, no, I'm gonna hang out with Ryan. He's my man. Ryan's the underrated one. I'm saying it right now.
Ryan is the crazy motherfucker that you just can never judge. Is he going to shank you?
If I had to pin down my humor style out of all of them, it's the closest to Ryan. I love his humor so much.
You gotta admit, Red. You know, me and Jeremy going shot for shot would be a great video.
Oh, dude, that'd be the best video on our goddamn channel. Like, all right, here we go. Oh my god. Well, anyway, I hope Genlock fans are. You'd think a lot of people that watch Genlock would be fans of Achievement Hunter, right? I hope so. God, I feel
right?
Good. Oh my god. But yeah, no, sorry, we had to add some filler content into this video to make it to 20 minutes.
But if it gets better, we'll review it. If not, consider this our only fucking say on the show.
Yeah. And now we begin the search for another thing for David and I to review.
Well, we still gotta finish Voltron, if nothing else.
Oh yeah, I heard that got not good at the end.
I heard that there was a lot of shit that went wrong at the end.
Now that we have our own dedicated, because I was worried at first that like since it's kind of past its virality, but we do have our own like a good chunk fan base now. So yeah, I suppose we can finish Voltron.
Yeah, and off to hiatus for me.
Oh yeah, you still doing that?
Yeah, I'm still doing that.
All right. Peace.
Peace.